Sri Lanka does have a democratic government, and as I've said in another context, the standards that are expected of democratic governments are rightly high, and they should be adhered to by every single government. And no one is denying that there is a terrorist problem in Sri Lanka. That terrorist problem is a mortal threat to Sri Lankans of all. Mr. Speaker, the recent military advances by the Sri Lankan government and the subsequent humanitarian crisis are of continuing serious concern. We have repeated. For some time, the Sri Lankan authorities were offering a ceasefire and it was rejected by the LTTE. Now there is news of an LTTE offer which has been rejected by the government. We have repeatedly called for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire. We've made clear to the government that a political solution that addresses the legitimate concerns of all communities in Sri Lanka is the only way to bring a sustainable end to the conflict. Our commitment it's a conflict which is actually against the interests of all of Sri Lanka's communities, which could find a way to live together if they had representation that was able to eschew violence and look for political solution. Our commitment to this goal and our desire to work with the Sri Lankan government is clear in the appointment of an experienced former Secretary of State, the Right Honourable Member for Kilmarnock, as the Prime Minister's Special Envoy. I remain in active discussion with the Sri Lankan government to encourage them to work with him.
Which can enable civilians to leave the hot areas in Sri Lanka can actually happen because families in Britain are really anxious about relatives about whom they've heard nothing for months, and we need to help them and their relatives to be safe.
Mr. Speaker, my honourable friend speaks with knowledge and passion about this issue, and she's absolutely right about the need to do everything that we can to protect the civilians, including working with the UN.
Reports that the so-called safe areas aren't no longer safe because conflict is proceeding there. I noted
Sri Lankan Cabinet met and refused to withdraw its opposition to the Right Honourable Gentleman's appointment. If this is so, then it means that either he personally is unacceptable, which I would find strange, or that the Special Envoy from the United Kingdom is unacceptable and will therefore be in permanent limbo.
That he did, because following a letter from our Prime Minister to the President of Sri Lanka, I spoke to the President of Sri Lanka on the 30th of January, a long time before the date that the Honourable Gentleman mentioned, and the President Rajapaksa said that he would engage with a UK envoy. Two meetings between our High Commissioner and the President confirmed that position. So I think it's important that we don't leave on the record his suggestion.
Relatives of a member of the Milton Keynes Tamil Forum. What she wants to know is what justice there will be for her relatives killed in this action. Can the Foreign Secretary...
has lost, I think she said, 11 relatives, and I think it's impossible from this dispatch box to say anything that will give someone in that situation any sense of real comfort at a time of such huge distress. What I have to also say is that she is among a large number of people in this country who have lost large numbers of relatives in this terrible